Hi, I'm Stacey Gota, Portfolio and Content Director at Ashton Media, the organiser of the L&D Symposium, which will bring together senior L&D leaders on the 25th and 26th of November in the glorious Hunter Valley. If you aren't already coming along, you should definitely check it out because you'll get to hear from the amazing Johannes Lystbæk, L&D manager of the Lego Group based in Denmark, who'll be delivering our international keynote at the event. Now, Johannes will be joining us to explore how we can better use technology to boost learner engagement and development and well-being, while also ensuring that your technology selection is cost-effective, aligned with your unique learning and organizational goals, and generates a positive return on investment. So it should be a brilliant and very informative session. I'm thrilled to have Johannes with me here today, albeit virtually, though that is the norm these days. Johannes, thanks so much for joining me.
Happy to be here.
Awesome, thank you. So Johannes, I've already mentioned you are the L&D manager of the Lego Group and you're based in Denmark, but just to kick us off and as a starting point, it would be great to hear a little bit more about what you and your team are working on and what you're focused on at the minute.
Yeah, well, my focus at the moment is very much on our technology infrastructure. So having that in place to make sure that that we can bring the right content to the right people at the right point in time, the right place. Also very much focused on our content engagement, so making sure that people are aware of the things that we're offering, and then also some program learning experience development for our, call it our signature learning opportunities we have here at the Lego Group.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so very much focused on learning and culture work here in the learning and development.
Yeah, and that ties us nicely onto my second question, which was about that culture piece. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of talk in the industry and a lot of work that businesses are doing to champion that learning culture internally to make sure that employees are, you know, leveraging the learning opportunities available to them in the flow of work. How are you and the Lego Group working to help foster that learning culture internally?
Yeah, good question. And I think if I look back 3 years ago, then we introduced something we call the Leadership Playground, which is basically something that was created together with the organization, and it's a working philosophy and a concept for how we define leadership. So how does that then connect to our learning culture? In the Leadership Playground, everyone is a leader. So we have responsibility. We all have responsibility to lead ourselves and each other. It doesn't mean that we all have the formal leadership, but to be a good leader, we have to be curious, focused, and brave. So especially in this curiosity thing that we preach here at the Lego Group, that all of us needs to be curious in order to lead ourselves. So I think it's very at the foundation of who we are and our working philosophy. And it might sound like something that only exists on paper, but it's really we use these values and the promises every day here at the Lego Group.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, it's not only a learning and development initiative. It's bigger than that, and it's what we are building on. So it's not only us in learning and development who are building a learning culture. It's the whole people function and our corporate communications as well.
Yeah, nice. I love that. Be curious. I'll definitely take that with me.
Yeah.
And it definitely feels like a really interesting time for the L&D profession. Obviously, a lot has changed over the past 18 months with how we live and work being, you know, shifted quite dramatically. What would you say are some of the most pressing issues facing L&D leaders at the minute?
I think I can speak for sort of the pain points that we're having at the moment. That we have focused a lot of content for some time now, and content may be king, but yet people are to some extent drowning in it. So it's this issue about getting the right learning content to the right people. So yeah, that they will develop the skills that our company needs to stay competitive.
Yeah.
And figuring out what are these skills. So yeah, there's this, I don't know, referred to as the global skills crisis. So right skilling our organization, figuring out what are the skills that we should be emphasizing and on what basis. maybe creating a new skills framework, or should we go with something that is pre-existing? Question mark. And because I'm also heavily involved in technology, I think it's an issue for us to navigate and call it the L&D technology landscape, maybe also the whole HR technology landscape. A lot of new things emerging in the market, going from learning management systems to learning experience platforms to employee experience platforms. And so if we're having issues navigating that landscape, then basically it also means that our employee might be struggling a bit there. Other than that, also adopting the agile ways of working, to be more flexible, and adapt to change. Finally, with that also being able to prove business impact. So the investments that we put in onto our content and our learning programs, it's okay to prove that people enjoy the programs, but can we actually prove some kind of business impact as well? I think that's what on our top of our heads at the moment.
Yeah. And you touched on it there, because I know technology is a kind of a big part of your remit, and there's almost an overwhelming array of tools and technologies that L&D leaders can use now to engage their wider teams in learning initiatives. What impact do you think technology and data will have on the future of learning looking forward?
That's the $1 million question. I wish I had the sure answer for that. But I guess in my perspective, if we look 5-10 years down the line, I don't think there will be a big change in how we learn. I don't think that's changing. So if you look at sort of the cognitive science and all that, I think that's how we're put together. But what will change is what we need to learn. Because technology and data and work is going to change, then obviously people need other skills. So hopefully technology will help us be able to predict what skills are needed now and in the future, and give us better ways of building the skills. I think there'll be more focus on behavioral skills. I don't know, human skills, or if you can call it that. I think with automation and AI, that you could say that the machines are coming, but I think that to some extent that we will need more stuff like critical thinking, design thinking, communication, business acumen, stuff like that. That's some of the skills that we need to make sure that everyone have. And then as an L&D function, I think it would be less about, which is it's already like that it's less about delivering training, but more about the delivery of information in the right time, place, and format. So if you take a Lego example, for instance, then in our production facilities, it will be less about providing some training up front to make sure that people really know every steps from A to Z, because you will at some point in time put on your AR glasses and you will just have a head-up display of all the things that you need to do in what order. Obviously there will be still training needs where it's safety and quality and stuff like that, but I think it's very much about delivering the right information at the right point in time.
And to finish us off, I've already taken the be curious line that you mentioned earlier, but what's the best piece of advice that you'd say you've received
in general? I was once told by my guitar teacher that I shouldn't be afraid to do something that I'm good at. So being someone who suffered a bit from stage fright, that for some reason it really stuck with me, and it's been stuck with me ever since. In some way motivating me to keep learning, to be sharpen the saw, and be really good at what I'm doing, and that can give me confidence to deliver great results. So that's what the first thing I thought of when you asked that question.
Nice. And do you still play guitar?
I still do, yeah.
Yay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Not that much live performance anymore, but just something I do. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well, thank you so much, Johannes. I really appreciate you joining me for this chat today, and I can't wait to hear your session at the L&D Symposium in November. Thank you so much.
Yeah, happy to be here. Looking forward to presenting more stuff later.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much.
Anytime.